Finding and keeping good pest control technicians has become one of the hardest challenges for operators. Everyone wants more routes, more growth, and more capacity, but none of that matters if you can't staff your team with people who actually stick. In this video, Ryan Marshall from Vink's Pest Control breaks down exactly how he hires, trains, and keeps great technicians.
Sometimes you get a technician that you think, you're like, dude, this is a workhorse, man. We'll throw tons of stops on this guy. And then all of a sudden you look at it and you're like, well, dude, we get most of our complaints from that guy. It's always a balancing act. And some of the technicians, they're not used to door to door. And so they just think like, oh, well, if you don't have anything right now, it's hard to attract those kind of people.
If hiring feels chaotic, your system is the problem, not the people. Strong companies use a simple framework: hire, train, reward, retain. When you apply that consistently, hiring becomes predictable instead of reactive. Next, Ryan breaks down how he structures pay. Instead of hourly pay, he prefers a production-based model because it attracts people who want to win. Production pay isn't about squeezing more out of your technicians. It's about rewarding effort and giving people a sense of ownership over their work.
I love paying technicians on production because then they can eat what they kill. It's hard early on when you're just starting out. You got to pay them hourly, and sometimes there's not a ton of jobs, and you can't expect a technician to only get paid to do 2 jobs. I think it really pushes guys to want more stops. When a couple stops on their route cancel that day, we want guys to call in and say, hey, give me 2 more stops.
One of the strongest insights from Ryan is how training impacts everything. When technicians feel confident, their work improves. When work improves, customers stay longer. And when customers stay longer, technicians stay longer. Training creates confidence. Confidence creates quality, and quality creates retention.
We've actually really been pushing our service team to actually go out and upgrade customers. That's probably been one of our biggest wins over the last little bit is getting our service team to actually believe that they can do it and go out and open their mouths.
Turnover doesn't just create empty seats. It creates chaos, missed routes, frustrated customers, and burned out teams. Turnover isn't just expensive, it's contagious. Ryan's approach works because it's simple. Attract the right people, train them well, reward performance, and protect your team from burnout.
Cash flow obviously is tough, especially when you're in like door to door. Finding technicians, you're doing interviews and they're like, so how big are you guys? And you're like, we're 0. It's hard early on when you're just starting out. You got to pay them hourly, and sometimes there's not a ton of jobs, and you can't expect a technician to only get paid to do 2 jobs. Early on, you can't afford a really sharp service manager, and so you get a decent technician and tell them they're the manager, right? And that's kind of how you run with it. And eventually you start to realize like the caliber of people are really important, and so you start to work on developing those people or being a little bit more willing to spend money on attracting those people.
If you install the right systems, you'll build a technician pipeline that supports real growth instead of constantly scrambling for replacements. If you want the full conversation with Ryan, including how Vink's runs training, compensation, and branch leadership, check out the full episode of the Pest Playbook.